Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
What was your favorite game of all time? I mean, of all time. Like, you think about the first game you ever played, and from that point to today, your favorite game of all time. Because everyone's got one, and I can almost guarantee that everybody's favorite game is going to be different. It's difficult for me to narrow down my favorite game. I think I've mentioned it a few times here. I'll let you guess what my favorite game is. I'm not gonna reveal my card, so to speak. But I do want to reveal this top 5 list as submitted by Walfrid and Walfrid. I apologize for the mispronunciation. The top 5 classic video games. I guess video games have been around long enough to have classics. Fair enough. Well, I thought I'd share the top 5 list with everybody here. See if his top 5 list differs from yours. To be read from the bottom, starting with number 5. Okay, so I got to start down here and then I got to work my way back up. I don't know why you didn't start it that way, but oh well. Number 5, Tales of Phantasia. That's Phantasia. A greatly unmentioned game. Originally to the SNES, but later ported to the PlayStation, I think. Am I wrong? I don't know. That's what he's asking. He says, Tales of Phantasia. Never heard of it. And even later to the GBA. Even that game has a wonderful story, and I almost cried when I played it the first time when he buries his parents. That was a sad moment in my life. I got stuck in it, though, and I haven't played it in a long time. That says something about you if one of your most favorite games makes you cry. Number 4, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. Definitely worth number 4. It is today the most played game ever at my place. I rarely play it, though. My sweet sister plays it all the time. And I have no idea how many times she's beaten that game. It is a great game with great story. When you've beaten the game, there's plenty more to do. Number 3, Donkey Kong 2, Diddy Kong's Quest. This Donkey Kong is the most played game ever, at least in my home several years ago. I remember my sister and I played it as soon as we got home from school, already in the school bus, getting ready to run out of the house to get into the A controller first. That is why Donkey Kong deserves the 3rd place. Number 2, Tetris. Yes, Tetris is on number 2. I know it should be number 1 because it's one of the classic games, and the most games, on the NES, it was the game most sold ever, blah, blah, blah. I put it to number 2 because number 1 is saved for another great game. Tetris is, however, the single most known, or well-known, and most copied game ever. It can be found in a variety of different products, such as cheap candy bar holders. Yes, I have one. Really? Or, I'm sorry, cheap candy holders, not candy bar. Candy bar Tetris. Sounds delicious, but I don't think it's possible. And mobile games, which you can download from the web. Nothing beats the original Tetris on Game Boy Original, though. Number 1. Any guesses at the number 1 here? Here, I'm going to throw it to the chat room. Number 1. Any Super Mario? Nope. Pong? Nope. Asteroids? Nope. Mario? Nope. No other guesses? Lively room. I'm sure they just locked up chat because that's what happens if a lot of people start typing. See, there we go. All of a sudden I got 5 of them there. Pac-Man, Doom, Pokemon, Pac-Man, Street Fighter, Pokemon. Oh god. List goes on and on. No! His number 1 is Final Fantasy IV. Final Fantasy IV is the most bestest and goodest game. His words, not mine. I swear, his words. Bestest and goodest game to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System ever. It has the best mix of wonderful characters, great story, and music that should be all countries' national anthems. I have played it ever since I was very young, and I have loved it from the moment Terra, Vix, and Wedge walked towards the mining town of Narshe to the fantastic Terra's theme. How do you pronounce that? You obviously can tell I've never played Final Fantasy IV. Is it Narshe? Narchi. I'm going to go to Narchi. I was going to Narchi to pick up some power converters. There you go. There's his top 5 list of classic video games. Favorite video games of all time. What's your top 5 list? I'd just be interested in knowing. I mean, if it's good enough and if it's solid enough and we haven't already covered it ad nauseum, I'd love to share it with the rest of the community at large on YouTube as well as in our chat room. If you've got a top 5 list that you'd like to share, whether it's related to gaming, technology, or anything in general, feel free to pass it along. My email address is chris@perillo.com. And the chat room, if you haven't figured it out by now, the chat room is, who I'm speaking with. at least when I'm streaming this video live, because we stream live over the web, audio and video, all day long. Yeah, literally, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at live.perillo.com. Will you later?